Kara, and I'm back with another story time. This story pretty much is about the time that I was in the foster homes, like the reason why I was in foster homes, how many foster homes I've been in, and like the experience that I had within these foster homes. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, especially my viewers, the one that like to view my videos and I subscribe to my videos. Yeah, I'm talking to you. But yeah, make sure you subscribe. We're gonna get right into the video. I don't want to hold y'all up too much. I know y'all ain't seen me in about 2 weeks or whatever, but I've been busy with work. I started a new job or whatever, and that job is taking most of my time or whatever. So it's just been, I drop videos when I can for y'all. But like I said, this story pretty much is about the time I was in foster homes and my experience with foster homes and stuff like that, and the reason why I was put in there in the first place. But like I said, I don't want to hold you up too much. We can get right into the video. My experience wasn't your typical experience. Most people that's in foster homes and stuff like that, their parents might have did something to them, neglect or abuse or any of them sorts. But my experience was a little different. So I want to give you a little backstory on how my experience was. It started in 6th grade year or whatever. So 6th grade year, my mom, my dad is together. We're all in one household. My sisters and all the other stuff, we all in one household. So, we going to school. My dad was really big on going to school. My mom was like the working one. So my dad would make sure for certain that we was in school. Like, my dad was the disciplinarian. My mom was like the one that went home and, made sure all the bills was paid, made sure. And then, like, most of the time that we was like pretty much in the house by ourselves because my dad was doing, guys know what. We was young at the time, so we didn't really know what was happening. But we knew my dad was like on something, like on some type of drugs, doing him. So like most of the time we would just be in the house by ourselves. But he'll definitely make sure we go to school, and books was his favorite. Books were for boys. Make sure we read a book every day. He was big on like education, big on school, and stuff like that. But my mom was the provider. She was the one that went to work every day, make sure everything was paid. It was times where my dad would like steal from my mom, and I would just go in the room and I would just catch her crying, and she was like, I'm like, Mom, what's wrong? Like, and she was like, Willie, that's what we call my dads, because I guess, I don't know, but we call him Bully. But so she was like, Willie stole all my money from my car, and I don't know how I'm gonna pay the rent or bills this month. Yeah, it would be something like that or whatever. And I would just sit there and cry with her. So 6th grade year, at the end of the year, about like the last 2 weeks, my mom and my dad just decided that we didn't really have to go no more. All grades was like turned in already. Like, I feel like most parents kind of did this. Like, the last 2 weeks of school, like, they didn't really care about sending their child to school. And my mom and my dad was the same way. They didn't really care about the last 2 weeks. They already got the last report card. That's all they needed to know. Okay, my kid is passing. He's moving on to the next grade, or she's moving on to the next grade. All right, fine, bam. So that's kind of how the things went. That's how things started. So 6th grade, the last 2 weeks, we didn't really go to school like that because the year was pretty much over. I'm not sure if truancy was a big thing as it was back then when I was like in school and stuff like that, but they was really big on that. 7th grade year. Let's fast forward. So 7th grade year was like a big dramatic change for like my whole, like all my sisters, my mom, my sisters, and my dad. Like, first we had started off in this household together. We like 6th grade year we was like in the household together. 7th grade year, like, we started off in this household together. I think we was living in my dad's sister house, which is my aunt. We was living at their house because we, back and forth to house, moving to, certain houses. And we was living there, whatever. We was going to the school. It was, I think I was going to an all-girls school called Rhodes. And we kind of got transferred into like the middle of the year because my mom found a place for us. And we kind of just moved from my aunt house to our new house or whatever. And I just want to explain how this block was before I go into the depths of, why we was taken away at first. When we moved on this block, it was spring break. I think, yeah, it was spring break. So, like, we had like the 2 weeks off. So in them 2 weeks, we was like, packing away and moving our stuff to the new house or whatever. And on this new block, it was like a lot going on. Mind you, me and my sisters are used to being like trapped in them house, or like trapped in, like my dad was like a big of a disciplinarian, like the disciplinarian one. Like he didn't really play too much, like, and sometimes it was like a little bit overboard. Somebody would have called it abusive, and a lot of stuff that happened to us. If I would have told a DHS worker, we would have been sent away, whatever, from my dad. My mom wasn't really the disciplinary. She never even laid a finger on us. So, like I said, when we moved to this block, my dad wasn't around no more. He just kind of upped and left. We never really heard from him again. No phone calls, no texts, no nothing. It was just like unexpected. One day we went to school, next day we came back home and he was gone. And that like I said, it was a dramatic change for everybody. And on the block that we been staying on, it was a lot going on. Like it was a lot of people our age. We had like a house across the street, like directly across the street from us. And the mom of the house, whatever, she had 7 boys, and she also had a daughter or whatever. And we had a girl our age down the street. We had somebody, it was a lot of kids on the block. And then when everybody used to be outside, the block used to be packed. And then other people from other blocks to come to the block. So it was a lit block. Like, I feel like this is one of our best blocks that we've been on, because, mind you, we've been staying there for about 3 or 4 years. And to be honest, that's a big deal for us, because we used to move in every 2 to 3 years, house to house, someone different house. And it's like, in there for that long was a big deal for us or whatever. It might have not been for y'all, but for us, that was definitely a big deal for us. And I feel like that was one of our funnest blocks. We knew a lot of people down there, So that's like the backstory. Like I said, like we move on this fun block. It's a whole new experience. We don't have our dad around. And I kind of think we kind of went like a little boy crazy. Like I said, it was a boys across the street from us, and they had 7 boys and 1 girl. And me and my older sisters, like, not too much of my 2 younger sisters, but me and my older sisters, like, we kind of got into the boys. We started skipping school. My mom would like get us all dressed in the morning, and she would have to go to work herself in the morning too. And we would all leave out in the morning, but soon as she like would get on the bus to go to work, we will like we'll sneak back in the house and like just go to sleep, or go to a boy house or stuff like that. Like, we really got out of control, like, with the boys. And not saying that it was our fault, but we was never really introduced to this stuff. Like, we was never introduced to these boys. We never had a boyfriend. Not saying, I mean, we're 12 and 13, so it should be no boys involved, but we couldn't even speak to nothing. Like, it was like nothing that we could have did like with my dad around. So I feel like when you're sheltered like that, it makes you want to do things that you wasn't allowed to do. So like I said, we would like sneak at boys' house, spend night over at boys' house. Mind you, we 12 and 13 at this time, so it's like, yeah, like, it's a big deal. And then we're skipping school. We already on the truancy list from last year, so it's like, it's making it worse. So it started off with like, little meetings. Okay, come to school. Then I went to court dates, and then I went to foster homes like that. Like, with my dad around, if we was even attempt to look at a boy, like, we was getting our asses light up, like, with extension cords, ropes, anything that he could find. Like, so my dad was really strict and really big on, us talking to boys. So, like, when he left, it's like all hell broke loose. We eventually went to the new school around our new neighborhood or whatever. And like, we would see like the faces from our neighborhood, like our block or whatever. Because like I said, our block used to be like a popping block, and everybody used to come to the block, to like chill or whatever. So we started getting familiar with the people in our block, familiar with the people at our school. On our block, it was boys, 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 boys. And like, me and my older sisters kind of like went crazy over that, because we never really had the chance to like, chance to do this. Like, my mom eventually like found out that we wasn't going to school, because they all leave a voicemail on her phone stating that, Akira didn't go to school today, or Desiree didn't go to school today, or Nadia didn't go to school. These are my sister's name, y'all. But like, they didn't go to school today. And my mom was like, why I didn't go to school today? She'll be like yelling and fussing at us. But like, it wasn't too much that we wasn't used to. Like, we was used to like the whoopings and the extension cords. So like, her talking like didn't really mean nothing to us, because we was already used to getting our ass whooped. So it was like, If you wasn't doing the ass whooping, then it wasn't like getting through to us, whatever. So like I said, we would like spend night out, be too tired to go to school the next morning, you know, probably with a boy. And this is like pretty much me and my older sister. Like my younger sister, they went to school every day, every single day. So they wasn't really truant. It was only me and my older sister that was really truant. And she gave us like a caseworker. A caseworker gave my mom like a list of things that she needed to do to make sure, like, mind you, my mom was already doing everything that she was doing as a parent. She did everything that she's supposed to do as a parent. It was us that was going against her will or being disobedient to her, and it was only me and my older sister. Like, I feel like if she wasn't if she was an unfit parent, they would take all of us away. But it was only us two that was like being disobedient. Like my younger sister, they was going to school every day. They was doing what they had to do. It was me and my older sister that kind of went boy crazy. Wasn't really going to school. So they gave my mom a checklist of things that she had to do, or that she, and it's like y'all giving someone a checklist that she was, like I said, she was already doing everything that she was supposed to do. So giving her a checklist of things that she needed to do was like absurd. Like what? Like, what do you? I'm doing the best I can do. So eventually, like, we started going to court because we were still missing days. We were still, I guess, not following the checklist that they gave my mom that she needed to do when she was already doing what she could do, like, and what she supposed to do, whatever. So they had assigned me and my sister to go to the school or whatever. It was called Carson Valley. A school bus would pick us up every day, and we would be at the bus stop, which is at the corner of our block, about 7:15 every morning. And that was fairly too early. Like we was already, like, we were going to a regular school. We would probably have to leave out at, like, 7:45, 7:30. Being at that bus stop at 7:15, even though they gave us a ride to school, they gave us everything that we need. Me and my sister still couldn't make it to the bus stop on time.
Oh, hell no!
So they would kind of leave us. We were still missing days. We would kind of just say fuck it, or we're not going that day. And it became a problem with truancy at that school. Us not going to the school. And this is court ordered. Like, they gave us, it was court ordered for us to go to the school. And just a little side note. When I was going to Carson Valley, whatever, I met this girl there, right? And her name was I'm not gonna give her real name, whatever, but I'm gonna just say her name was Kiana, right? And that wasn't really her real name, whatever. And so, I didn't really think about nothing of it, but going back on it, like, she was just telling us our experience. And mind you, this happened like when I was in, like, like 8th, 7th grade, like 8th grade, 9th grade, whatever. 9th grade is when we was assigned to go to Carson Valley and, stay at the school or whatever, go to the school. So when I met this girl, she told us that her name was Kiana, and, she started telling us that, she was taken away by her parents and she got to stay here, whatever. And she got brothers and she got sister. Why this girl? I just found this out when I was, like, dating Rob and all that. I was dating Rob when I was, 17, 16, whatever. So that was like, it was like years ago. But I eventually found out this girl was Rob's sister. Rob blood sister. And she used to go to school at Carson Valley. But, like, it was residential. And I forgot the other term, but it was basically like the school that just go there for, like, the day. Just go there and just go home. But it was people that actually stayed there, and she was one of the ones that stayed there. But like I said, that was like a little side note. We were still missing days for that school. That was 9th grade year when they assigned me and my sister to go to Carson Valley. We were still missing days. We're still, doing what we want to do. And then to make matters worse, my mom found out my sister was like 7 months pregnant. And I know y'all probably found out, how the hell did she find out when she was 7 months pregnant? I think my sister already had an idea that she was pregnant, but she never really told anybody. She never really, told my mom. So my mom kind of found out when she was 7 months. And then while she found out that she was 7 months, she asked me, was I having sex? And I'm like, yeah, mind you, I'm 12, 13 years old. And she asked me that, I told her yes. And so she's breaking down crying at the hospital. At the doctor's office. Like, she's breaking down crying. because we telling her this. She found out one of her daughters is pregnant, which my sister was 14 or 15 at the time. And, you know, she just found out I'm having sex and I'm just about 13, 14 years old. So it's just like, damn, like, it was like a big slap in the face to her because, like, damn, I'm doing the best I can for y'all and y'all still going against what I'm saying. So the caseworker pretty much, that's kind of turned into DHS because, like, now that my sister's pregnant, like, that's like a case because they thinking like my mom was just letting us do what we wanted to do. So, like, DHS came involved and they gave us another checklist of things that we supposed to do, like, and, you know, DHS, like, they wanted, like, you to have, like, oh, everybody got to have beds. And, you know, at that time, I think, like, me and my sister probably was sharing beds. So, like, my mom had to do, like, all these things to make sure that, you know, I guess to live in their standards. Like, it was, she had to make sure she had things that was in their standards for us, you know. And like I said, she was already doing the best that she can do. Like, she didn't really have a high-paying job. She had a high school diploma, but she didn't really have a college degree, or she didn't really have a trade. She did what she could do. Right after finding out my sister was pregnant, we also had found out my mom was pregnant. Like, we found like from a ultrasound that's on her back. Mind you, I already had like in my mind that she was pregnant. Like, you know, she was acting different. She always wanted to sleep, and I just found like I was going through her bag. And I found the ultrasound pictures of, you know, with her name on it. And it said a boy. You know, I just brought her attention like, yo, mommy pregnant. And, you know, I'm telling her, my sisters about it. You know, be confronted by my mom. And, you know, she kind of told us, like, so now we got my mom pregnant. Then we got my sister pregnant. And then we got that we're not going to school. And they just thought that my mom was just letting us do what we want to do. So my mom tried to do, like, everything that was on this checklist, like, with DHS. Like, she made sure, like, you know, she did everything for this checklist or whatever. She made sure that we had beds. She made sure all the babies had cribs. You know, she tried to do everything that they asked her for to do. So, like, when this court date came, you know, the social workers there, the DHS workers there, and, you know, they giving us input on, you know, how my mom was meeting all the requirements of what they was asking for her to do. And, you know, she's, you know, like, we thinking, like, everything's about to be cool, you know, a whole 180 because the judge found out my sister was pregnant. He found out my mom was pregnant. They already signed us to go to the school. They found out that we was missing days from school. He was explaining to us that we was missing school since 6th grade to now to 9th grade. It's 3-year gap, and we still missing days. He was telling us how many days we missed. Eventually, like, the DHS worker and the case management, they couldn't help us. Like, they couldn't. It was based on the judge's decision. So, and he told me and my sisters to, like, wait in the back of the courtroom and say goodbye to our parent, to my mom or whatever. So, mind you, me and my older sister is crying. My mom is crying. She kind of cursed out the case management and the DHS worker because they told her that everything was going to be okay, that she did everything she's supposed to do. And in reality, I guess not, because we was taken away. And the judge wasn't really trying to hear that. He told us to sit in the back of the courtroom, and, you know, we waved our mom goodbye. We gave her a hug and all that. And she had to leave us there. And that's kind of how our journey began with the foster homes and, you know, us getting, you know, taken away and stuff like that. Our main reason was, you know, getting in, you know, missing too many days of school, being in truancy. And then they thought my mom was an unfit parent because, you know, my sister had a baby. She had a baby. You know, it was like a lot going on. They thought my mom was an unfit parent. But in reality, she was doing everything she could do for us, or everything she knew how to do. So, you know, it took a toll on all of us, and all that. We had said our final goodbyes, and we were escorted out the courtroom by 2 officers. Our first place that we went to was Youth Study Center for 3 days. The reason why I think they were switching us so much because I didn't think they had like a permanent place for us to go at that time, like so soon. So they were just like having us switch into different places. So like I said, we was at the Youth Study Center for 3 days, and then they had switched to the Vision Quest. Mind you, we didn't commit a crime in our life. We was just not going to school. So like people was asking us like, why we in here? Why y'all in here? And we was just like, oh, we just wasn't going to school and stuff like that. They would just keep giving us hope, like, y'all gonna be home by tomorrow. Y'all gonna be all right. Y'all gonna be all right. So, they're like, are y'all only here for school? That's it. All right, that's fine. Y'all gonna be home by tomorrow. So, like I said, it was It was the Youth Study Center for 3 days, and then they had switched to the Vision Quest. Vision Quest, we had stayed for 5 days. And then at the Vision Quest, we had stayed at Bethany Children's Home. And like Bethany Children's Home was like out of Philly. So like we stayed at Bethany Children's Home for like a month. Like my sister was away from my daughter for like a month. Like I was away from my family for a month. And that's when like they found my sister a place called North Star. And then they had found me a place, my first foster home. All this for like truancy, like y'all treat people like this for truancy. So like I said, this stuff wasn't like permanent. They was moving us places to places like that because they didn't have a permanent place for us to stay at that point in time. We had took a trip to go get her daughter or whatever. That's her first time seeing her daughter in about like maybe like a week or whatever, because we got placed from the courts. And then we had, after the courts, we had went straight to, you know, Vision. So she finally got her daughter. She go off to her place because they had found like a mother-daughter program. And for me, you know, that's where my journey began with the foster home. So, you know, I had went to my first foster home, and I don't want to get into like the details because I don't want to make this video so long. So I think I want to break it down to like my first foster home, that experience, second foster home, that experience, and then my third foster home, and then I'll tell you about that experience. And I think that's how I'm gonna do it. Or I might just put it all in one video and then just tell how my foster experience. This video is just kind of how like I was placed into the foster homes and how I got into that system. And then I'm gonna get into depths on like, you know, living there and how I was and stuff like that. But this is the end of this video. Just want to close y'all out. Peace. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm trying to get to my 100 subscriber giveaway. So I'm at 67 subscriber. I want at least 100 by 2 weeks, so you know I can get y'all a little gift. I had like did like a poll of like what y'all would want. I think I did like a basket, like a homemade basket that I would make or whatever. I think I did like a perfume set, and then I also did I think a Bath and Body Works set, maybe something like that. But I think a lot of people was going with the perfume set, so I might just get the perfume set and, you know, prepare for the giveaway. I'm at 67 subscribers. I'm happy to be at this point. You know, y'all been rocking with me for the longest. Keep rocking with me. I'm dropping videos back to back, and like I said, I'm gonna drop videos when I can. I've been working like a slave, so you know I gotta get this coin. So yeah, like stay with me. Subscribe. Peace.